I've learned something powerful that the small things we do are often the ones that create the biggest impact. And not because they're perfect or planned, but because they come from a genuine place of consistency. Whether it's how you talk to yourself, how you start your day, how you show up for somebody you care about, that energy always finds its way back to you. So today, as we move and reflect together, I want to encourage you to explore how you're adding just a little more intention, a little more purpose, a little more value into your day so that you can quietly and consistently transform what you receive. Because the value you receive is directly tied to the value you create, the value you put out into the world. And that's not just a nice saying, it's a real thing. It's called the law of reciprocity. Put simply, what you give is what you get back. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. Because whether this is your first time discovering one of my videos or your hundredth, I want you to know that this is about more than just physical fitness from bouncing on the rebounder. We use our time together to tone our bodies, feel better physically, yes, but we're also investing in how we feel mentally and emotionally. So instead of just bouncing to music, I record these messages that help to strengthen all areas of our lives. And today, I'd like to explore with you how we receive more by learning to give more. So let me explain. When we talk about creating value, we often imagine something big, a big business we're going to build, a book we're going to write, a podcast we're launching, something big, something polished, something professional. But at the core, value is just offering something that somebody else needs or putting something out into the world that is worth something. And the harder or more meaningful, more challenging that something is to offer, the more value it holds. It might be something that's hard for somebody else to figure out, but you can do it. It might be something that takes time or thought or patience or care to develop, like your wellness routine, something that meets a need in a way that feels different and valuable. So, when you become a person who creates this kind of value into the world through your work, your relationships, and how you just show up for yourself, the return you receive increases because you're no longer throwing random things out there just hoping something will stick. You're not just halfway trying, you're being intentional. You're building something with care. The world can feel that and people gladly receive it. Whether it's your clients, your partner, your kids, your friends, however it is that you're pouring out value into the world, that's what flows back to you. And that's a big part of this 8-week challenge. Ending our year strong is about us putting value into our daily lives to, in the end, those 8 weeks completed, receive value back. So let's consider, for example, our relationships. So many relationships will drift apart because people stop investing. They stop spending time together. They stop adding value to their connection. And what happens? The relationship deteriorates because nothing stays the same. Nothing just coasts and is steady. Everything in life is changing. It's either in a state of growth or a state of decline. And I know that might sound a bit intense, but look around. Even nature flows in this rhythm. As I record this, the leaves are falling. Some trees are already entirely bare because it's that time of year, the season for release, a time to let go, a time to slow down, a time to prepare for what's next. Even the trees know when to rest. And you're doing this too, maybe even without realizing it. You're moving through your own season. A part of the season is this challenge, this 8 weeks commitment, this 8 weeks of commitment to move every day to take care of yourself physically, emotionally, and mentally, to realign, to rebuild, and to close out the year stronger, maybe even better than you started it. And I want to remind you why this matters. A few years ago, I hit a low point, and I'd say a low point in that I felt unsettled because I knew I was made for more. I had this deep inner sense that was settling, not because life was bad, but because I just knew I wasn't fully showing up in all that I was capable of. I wasn't creating the kind of value into the world that I felt called to do. Each of us has our own calling. So I'm not trying to compare myself to you or anybody else. I'm just saying for me, for myself, I just didn't feel like I was living up to everything that God had made me to be. And I was tired of just going through the motions, just checking the boxes, just surviving the day. My heart felt called to contribute more, to grow, to expand, and to really make an impact with what I could do. But before I could step into that version of myself, I first had to connect with it mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And that connection, friend, starts with smaller daily actions. That's the part we often miss. We're waiting for this big change to happen in our lives, but we don't realize the big changes are built on the small daily steps. So let me bring this into real life just for a second. So this morning, I woke up and I hydrated. I drank plenty of water, drank herbal tea, took my multivitamin. I listened to a sermon that helped me ground myself spiritually. I played a simple game while I was listening to that to help to slowly ease into my day. Then later, I drank a nootropic, which I love. It's like wakes up my brain and helps me focus through the day. I ate a nutritious breakfast. And when the rain clears, I plan to head out for a walk, a simple way to move my body and refuel my energy. Are these things life changing in and of themselves? No, not really. But done together, done with intention, and done on a daily committed basis, they are shaping me, they are steadying me, and they create the value that I receive. That overflow in the work that I do, the conversations that I have, the energy I'm able to bring to my life, they all come from these incremental steps adding up. And that's what I want for you too. To feel your days adding up, to feel your choices creating momentum towards your bigger goal, to feel your energy shifting because you're investing in yourself and investing in the goal that you have. It doesn't have to be dramatic or overwhelming or perfect. We don't wait for the big transformation. We build it incrementally day by day. That's why this 8-week strength training challenge is built over a period of time, but each day it's only 10 minutes. Because I knew if I could help you to commit to something small but powerful, you'd start to feel the difference growing in your body. You'd start to feel the shifts happening in your mind. And maybe if you're bouncing right now as you listen to this, and if so, you're already doing it. You're already building value into your own life because your body feels what you do consistently. Your brain notices what you prioritize. And even if nobody else acknowledges your effort, you do. You know that when you're creating something that matters, you feel it. You start to fall into alignment and you feel peace at growing something, at becoming something, at the change that you're building. And when you're out of alignment, honestly, you should feel that too. So let me ask you, what kind of value are you putting into the world right now? In your energy, in your words, in how you care for yourself, how you show up for others, what you give to others, and maybe more importantly, how do you want that value to come back to you? Because it will. It's a cycle. It's the law of reciprocity, and you're in it whether you're aware of it or not. So today, let's make the cycle intentional. Let's plan to invest in our energy, how you fuel your body. Let's move for 10 minutes, how you physically care for your body. Let's create from clarity, how you establish and build your thoughts. And let's add value into the world by the actions you take. Not because somebody else is watching. I'm here for you, but I can't see what you're doing. But you know it, and you're worth showing up for, friend, because your future is shaped by what you show up and give consistently. So bounce with me, take in the message, connect and reflect, and remember, you don't have to do everything, but what you do have to do is something that gives back, that builds value back into your life. And this is a powerful place to start. Now, before we go, friend, I just want to read you a quick comment from somebody who popped in and says they're a new subscriber. And here's what Gail had to say. She says, wow, first, congrats on your 6 months and all your success. Thank you so much, Gail. And she wrote, I love all the inspiration, and that amazing spot is beautiful to bounce. Yes, that's why I love bouncing outside. And then she continues and she says, I am excited to follow along and get back to bouncing. I got a rebounder a few months ago and have used it just a handful of times. So need to follow suit and be consistent without perfection. Thanks so much for sharing your journey. And friend, that's the key. These 10-minute daily bounce sessions throughout this challenge are just to help you build up the consistency, make use of your rebounder, and help you to strengthen your body, drain out your lymphatic system, just to feel better throughout this season and into all the parts of your life. So, without judgment, without any holding back, just enjoy your 10-minute bounce and help make it a daily practice. Happy bouncing, friend.